Hello guys, we are looking at solving simple problems involving speed, and we're going to do some car problems that involve speed, and we're going to work through some actual problems together. And here's a fast car. I downloaded that and put that down there to get you motivated. Okay, here we go.
Okay, here we go. Here's our first question. How long would it take to travel 600 kilometers if the average speed for the trip is 75 kilometers per hour, which means you're going at 75 kilometers, right, per hour? That means you travel. Each hour you move 75 kilometers. That means in 1 hour you will travel 75 kilometers. That's what this means. Okay. So our question is how long would it take to travel 600 kilometers if the average speed for the trip is 75 kilometers per hour? Well, here's a basic way to look at it, guys. Let's say your first hour, I'll do that in black. Let's say your first hour, there you go, hour number one, you travel 75 kilometers. And that's right because, well, every hour you're actually traveling 75 kilometers. Okay. So there's your first hour. Hour number two, well, it's another 75 kilometers, isn't it? So it's 75 plus 75, right, which is going to mean 150 kilometers. So now you've actually traveled 150 kilometers by your second hour. Right, now we're up to our third hour, which is going to be, well, each hour you're traveling 75 kilometers, so you better plus 75 again. 150 plus 75 equals 225 kilometers. Right. So far, we're at our third hour. We've travelled 225 kilometers. We've got to get all the way to 600. We're not there yet. Well, we're heading into our fourth hour now. So we're going to plus 75 again, because remember, each hour you travel 75 kilometers. So our fourth hour, well, that's going to be 225 plus 75. That's going to equal 300 kilometers, which is exactly halfway, which we could probably work it out from there if we're a bit clever. There's our fourth hour. Right, what about our fifth hour? Well, 300 plus 75 kilometers equals 375 kilometers, right? Our 6th hour, well, 375 kilometers plus 75 kilometers, because we travel that much every hour, equals 450 kilometers. Okay, well, we're running out of room now, Mr. Burns. What about our 7th hour? Well, 450 kilometers plus 75 kilometers just up here, because it's another hour. That's going to be 525 kilometers. Oh, we're nearly there, because the 8th hour, if I can fit it in just down there, the 8th hour is going to be 525 kilometers plus another 75 kilometers, which is going to equal 600 kilometers. There. Okay, and we got there. We got to our target. So that means it took us 8 hours. And the answer to that sum is, how long will it take to travel 600 kilometers if the average speed for the trip is 75 kilometers per hour? The answer is 8 hours. And there it is, right there. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, and here we go. Look, here's another question for us. How long would it take to travel 400 kilometers? Oh, it's yellow, I wanted red. How long would it take to travel 400 kilometers if the average speed for the trip is 80 kilometers per hour? So this time we've got ourselves, here's our distance, 400 kilometers is our goal, and the speed we're going is 80 kilometers per hour, which means obviously we go 80 kilometers every hour on the road. Okay, let's have a go. Okay, there's our target, 400 kilometers. Now there's a couple of ways to do this, guys. We can do it the way we just did it before. Which is a bit slower, but we all get it, perhaps. In the first hour, there's our first hour, we've travelled 80 kilometres. In our second hour, we've travelled, well, 80 plus another 80 is 160 kilometres. In our third hour, well, that's another 80 kilometres, that is 240 kilometres. Now we can do that, and you know, for some of us that might be great. In our fourth hour, plus another 80, that's going to be what? 240 plus 80 is 320 kilometers. That's okay, and like we'll understand that, and there's nothing wrong with doing it that way. That's a big smiley face. You could do it that way. Sure, you'll work it out correctly. You'll eventually get to 400. You'll eventually get there. But there's another way that involves some division. I'm just going to show you that now. The other way is from the outset working out how many 80s are actually going to go into 400. That's the other way we could do it. So we could go like this. We could go 400 kilometers divided by, and that's what this means. This means divided by, doesn't it? 400 kilometers divided by 80, that's the other option. So we could do that. I'll just do that in black because that makes more sense. Yeah, great. So the other option is dividing 80 into 400 directly. That's your other option. Okay, and we should know when we're using division and we're using zeros, we can actually cross off those zeros. So let's not divide 80 into 400. That's unnecessary. Let's eliminate some of those zeros. Let's cross off that zero. We can sure do that because we've crossed off a zero there. We can cross over 0 here. And that's the basic rule, just to state the obvious. Okay, if you've got a number with a 0 over here that's been divided, that's the number that you are dividing by. And if you've got a number over here that's been divided into, and they've got zeros, you can actually cross one of those off and cross one of those off, and that's fine. And now you can treat it like it's 8 into 40. Which is much simpler than 80 into 400. And so, by the way, 8 into 40, well, you should know that 8 times 5 equals 40. Yes, I hope you know that. So 8 into 40 should go 5, which would mean, how long would it take? Well, it would take 5 hours. That's another way to do it. Now, you could add it up the way I showed you before, or you could do division. I'm going to let you choose. Okay, sorry, something went funny then. We're going to start over again here. Okay, here you go. We're doing this together now. And there's two ways you could do it. Let's do one way together a little bit. How long would it take to travel 500 kilometers if the average speed for the trip is 50 kilometers per hour? So each hour you're going 50 kilometers. Well, there's a very simple way to do that. I just showed you. You could do, well, the first hour. Oh, we'll do it in black if that's all right. I'm very sorry. The first hour, you could go 50, wouldn't you? 50 kilometers, km. In the second hour, you would go 100 kilometers because you plus in 50 every time. The third hour, you'd go 150 kilometers. The fourth hour, you would go 200 kilometers. And you could work it out like that, and that's fine. Go all the way until you get 500 and see how many hours it takes you. That's fine. Or you could do a division sum, which might look a bit like this. 500 kilometers, 500 divided by 50. Now, I'm not going to do it for you. I've started you off there. This is the together phase. So see if you can answer that one and see if you can write the answer for me. How long would it take to travel 500 kilometers if the average speed for the trip is 50 kilometers per hour? Okay. And I wonder if you got this answer. I wonder if either way you did it, you got the answer 10 hours. And that was your correct answer. Okay. Let's do one all by yourself. Okay, here we are, guys. We're in the try phase. You're going to try this all by yourself. Here's the question for you. How long will it take to travel 450 kilometers if the average speed for the trip is 90 kilometers per hour? So each hour you're traveling 90 kilometers. Okay, I'm not going to do it. You're going to do it. Let's see how you go. Okay, you could have done this. Well, I hope you pause me. Okay, you could have done this one of two ways. You could have gone like this. Well, the first hour is going to be... Oh, I'll do it in black. Very sorry. The first hour is going to be 90 kilometers, and you're going to plus another 90. The second hour is going to be 180 kilometers, and plus another 90. Third hour is going to be 270. Whoops, daisy. 270 kilometers, and plus another 90. Right, like I've been saying, I've been plussing 90 each time here, haven't I? The fourth hour is going to be 360 kilometers, and the fifth hour is going to be, well, plus another 90, 450 kilometers, and that would have done it for you. And if you said 5 hours, you're entirely correct. You could have done it another way. Here's the other way you could have done it. You could have gone like this. And this is probably a slightly more advanced and a quicker way. You could have gone, I'll just change pens. You could have gone 450, right, divided by 90. That's 450 kilometers divided by 90 kilometers per hour. So, because there's a 0 in the divisor here, you can actually cross that off, and that means you cross it off in the number to be divided as well. You can't just cross that off without crossing off that, and they both need to be zeros. And so now the sum becomes 945, which equals 5, which means 5 hours. Okay, I hope that has been helpful. This has been Teachers Together Try with Mr. Burns, and we've been looking at solving problems involving distance and speed. Okay, see you later.